everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest is one of the stars of the 212 division. You probably know him if you ever followed the Middle Eastern scene, the Arab-speaking scene. This guy is one of the top athletes. Anytime I'm doing contest coverage, people are asking, where is he? Where is he? He is Durrah, Mahmoud Al Durrah. How are you, sir?
How's it going, Ron?
Good. And that's true. Every time I'm doing contest coverage of a show, if you're in the show, it doesn't matter what division I'm doing, people on the play-by-play are like, where's Durrah? Did I miss him? Did he go yet? They're
I have loyal fans.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's good to have people that care about you and want to see you. So I realized we last spoke for one of these right before all your shows last year. So I want to recap 2019 because you had a pretty decent 2019. Just to remind people, you did win the 2018 Vancouver Pro. And, man, you came really close to winning a couple more shows last year.
Yeah.
Started off New York Pro. That was a big lineup. You got sixth place there. That was a very, very odd show where Ahmad Ashkenani beat out Eduardo Correa, and the Brazilians in the house almost destroyed the place. They almost had a riot. It was very strange. But, you tightened up, and a couple weeks later in Toronto, man, I thought you had that show. I thought you had that 212 class. But it was another Canadian guy. Is he from your area?
I think, with all due respect, everyone thought I had that show.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still. Did you ever get feedback? So his name was Adolphus Coida. I want to give him credit. He won. But did you ever?
I did actually. I spoke to a couple of the judges, and they said my legs were a little lacking.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, well, so that's the feedback that I got.
So that was it. It was just he beat you maybe on overall balance. Was that it? You think?
I didn't get into too much details, but like when I asked, like, hey, what happened there?
Yeah.
And it was just like you just need a little more size on your legs.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, size, thickness, condition. Your condition was crazy at that show. You're known for your condition. You brought it, and then. The final show you did for last year was Dallas Europa. Once again, it was another one of those nail biters. It was you and Hide Yamagishi. Man, down to the wire. I wasn't at the show, so I'm just going by some pictures and a couple of videos that people posted. But you guys are both really good, but I thought you had Hide at that show, too.
I thought I had Hide, too, at that show.
So you actually did a throwback post the other day about that.
Yeah, maybe I was led into thinking that because I was center the whole time. Yeah. But then it's like maybe they were comparing me and Sante for a second place.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because they called us out. The first call out was called out twice.
Yeah.
So they compared us twice, and then when everyone stepped down, I remember the guy who kind of like arranges where the athletes go on stage.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hold on, guys. We want three of you: Hide, Durrah, and Sante." So, So when we're going back, I have that part is tattooed in my head. The guy says, "Durrah, the judges want you in the middle." Now that could mean just they're comparing me to Sante for second and third. But I thought I was first. I remember Milos Sarcev.
Yes.
Yeah, was freaking out because Hide is his athlete.
Yeah.
And he wrote this crazy post. And I remember I forwarded the post to few people. And I was like, should I comment on this? He wrote... It's like if Hyde doesn't win, it'll be like a disgrace to bodybuilding. This has to happen. He is way more conditioned, and bodybuilding has been all about like he made this whole essay, freaking out, thinking, "Oh my, if Hyde doesn't win, it's like the end of the world." And he has a lot of American and English followers.
Yeah, he's got a lot of followers, period. He's extremely popular all around the world.
So obviously all the comments were like, oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course. Oh, Hyde blows him away. Yada, yada, yada. So
condition-wise, do you think his condition was better than you at that particular show?
his condition was he was a lot more crisp.
Okay.
He was drier. He has that old man muscle.
He's older. Yep.
But size-wise, symmetry-wise, and I mean, I still nailed. I'm pretty dry every show.
Yeah.
But I was a lot bigger, honestly. I mean, even in the legs department, there wasn't much of a difference. But the lats, the back, arms,
his back.
chest.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, like I said, I was just looking at pictures of that too, and I'm like, I don't know how he didn't win that one, but I mean, yeah, you just gotta keep moving on. When those shows are over, and especially second place, I've heard, I know from it being an amateur and taking second many times, it's a very, it does, because you're so close and you're the last two people on stage and you're waiting for your name, and then they call out the other guy's name. You're like, damn it.
Yeah. It does work.
Yeah. Did you get like disillusioned? Did you think about quitting or anything? Because some people get really upset after a couple of those in a row.
I didn't think about quitting. I had so I did have a sort of like an agreement with my coach. I was like, listen, if I don't win, I don't think it's worth competing at the Olympia, because I qualified by points, not by winning a show. So if I'm going there, I'm going there on the wrong foot. It could be that. I mean, I don't remember what was going through my mind. I remember there was a sour, bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
After that show, I was pretty upset. But at the end of the day, it's a subjective sport, right? And that. So don't compete if you're not prepared for second place or whatever place.
Play golf. Get the ball in the hole. You're the winner, dude. That's it.
Exactly.
But it's funny you say that, because I've seen a few situations where guys who got to the Olympia on points, they ended up beating guys that beat them in the shows that led up to the Olympia. So it doesn't always work out that way. Like you might have beat Hide, you might have beat this Adolphus guy. Who knows what would have happened had everyone ended up at the Olympia. But it's all in the past now. It doesn't matter. So I'm curious, because this whole virus situation messed up so many people's plans. What was your plan for 2020 when the year began?
Ireland Pro.
Okay.
And then New York Pro. And then if I did not qualify, I would do a third show.
Okay. So I don't know what happened to Ireland Pro, if that's still going on or when it's going on.
No, that's completely canceled.
That's gone. Well, New York Pro, September 5th. Are you still in?
No, well, gyms haven't even opened here yet. I'm not gonna lie. I do have access to a gym.
Most pros do. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, but it's not the full gym that I usually train at.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, is it like a private training studio type of setup?
No, it's like a CrossFit gym.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So CrossFit, I know a little bit about CrossFit. My wife's been doing it for many years. So they typically will have a bunch of kettlebells, some dumbbells. They might have
there's cable machines, few squat racks, but first of all, I don't do squats. I can't do squats because of my back.
Yeah.
So it's even the chest. There's no chest machines. There's no shoulder machines. There's no bicep machines. There's none of that. It's all cable stuff and a bunch of free weights. And because of my back injury, I don't like to do a lot of free weights, because I don't like to put myself in that position where I can have another flare, and then I end up, out of the gym for another 6 weeks. So I don't think the situation in terms of contest prep is optimum for me to prep.
Yeah. Well,
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like just not even maintaining, but I mean, I train 4 times a week lightly. I eat 4 meals a day. So if I decide to do a show, it has to be a little later, maybe in October.
Yeah. Have you guys started? Has Montreal started or Quebec started any phases for reopening yet?
Yeah. So we just received news today at 9 a.m. in the morning that gyms are opening in 5 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, wow,
Huh.
double wow. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Well, I mean, prior to that, you hadn't heard anything at all? Like they weren't giving you
Nothing,
any?
nothing. Today's the first time, 9 in the morning. Gyms are opening on the 22nd of June.
So what's not going to be open? You'd think gym's probably like one of the last things.
I
Bars,
think maybe
nightclubs?
bars. I know restaurants are opening only at 50% capacity.
Yeah.
I don't know where bars are in that situation, if they're considered restaurants or not. But yeah, I don't honestly watch the news very much, to be
Yeah. I mean,
honest.
it's I don't blame you. It's not a pleasant experience the past few months watching the news. Facebook's even
Yeah,
worse.
yeah, it is.
So you've been on pretty much a maintenance program for the last couple months as far as training and eating. Do you actually feel better, like as far as your joints and everything? Did you feel like everything's getting a break, a rest?
Um, I mean, I didn't really have much problems prior this year.
Okay.
I started the year off very bad. I had a herniated disc in January.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that was resolved, and I was back fully training hard, and everything was going well. Um, so, I mean, joint wise, I'm okay, but it's just that I was so close to Ireland Pro. It was 3 weeks out. They canceled Ireland. I was like, you know what? No worries, no worries. I'm gonna do Toronto. I think was the next. No, I think Boston Pro, something like that. There was another
Yeah.
show that was close after Ireland, so I kept prepping. And then 2 weeks after that, that show was canceled. So I was like, oh,
Mm.
after all that, I'm done.
So
So I kept,
you went through a whole prep basically.
huh?
You prepped. You went through an entire prep.
Oh, yeah, I was 3 weeks
Oh,
out.
jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Ah, it sucks, dude. I mean, I felt bad. I didn't know how many other people were in that situation because I know the Arnold Australia, all those guys were ready to go, and then that got canceled last minute. I've been wondering who else was like ready or almost ready for a show when the rug got pulled out. And now I'm talking to one of them.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe going through all that because your prep, is it a standard like 16-week prep?
Honestly, this year I have been prepping because I skipped the Olympia. So I decided I'm going to prep starting September.
Oh my goodness.
So, like, really add a lot of size and then start cutting. Like, I don't really see cutting phase as a prep phase. You prep when you start, like, really being serious with all your meals and training. And I was very serious starting in September.
Hmm. Wow.
So now it's like, you know, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I would be very upset if I were you and gone through any of these athletes who were prepping, be it amateur, but especially at your level, the pro level. So much time, so much energy, so much money to prep for a show. And, you
I
can't,
don't
we can't.
really get upset. I just like I just take things, it is what it is kind of situation. I don't actually get upset or dwell about it at all.
Yeah.
I just went off everything and I started eating and enjoying time with my family, my girl, and just sort of living. And you can't really. I'll tell you what upset me
Hmm.
is that you can't really live much because of what's happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
yeah.
I've been on Facebook too much, unfortunately. It's poisoned my mind. But you were kind of vocal at times, as were a lot of people, about the situation and the whole fact that a lot of the numbers seemed exaggerated and inflated as far as cases, infections, deaths, and all that. And in the meantime, if you question that, if you spoke out like that, a lot of people came down on you really hard, saying you don't care about human life, you don't care about grandma, and you're putting your convenience or your money ahead of a human life, and this and that. It's been a really really
I'm
tough
gonna be honest
situation.
with you, Ron. I was not affected financially at all.
Mm,
At
good.
all. I have a really solid platform, and I'm doing very well. So the only notion is in my head, like all these places being shut down. Arrest the food industry can't survive
Right.
more than 2 months being shut down. And there are over 100,000 restaurants in North America that are going to be shut down permanently.
Wow.
And then when you reopen everything, all right, so okay, we're reopening at 50% capacity. That's not going to work. It's every small or medium restaurant, except franchises, are probably going to shut down. So it's like, okay, the whole notion is I care for grandma. I love grandma. She bakes amazing cookies and she's great to talk to.
Yeah.
But you can't stop the entire earth from spinning and ruin people's businesses. When you ruin someone's business, you're ruining the person. If I owned a restaurant and this is my life, let's say I'm an immigrant here, okay?
Right.
Let's say instead of bodybuilding, I opened up a shawarma place and falafel and shit like that.
Sure.
And put all my money into it. And like I'm finally starting to make, my return. Yes, it's happening. My dream is happening. And let's say, I bought a first house, whatever. And then, coronavirus, we're shutting everything down. Sorry, bye. Like, okay, I love grandma, but what about little Timmy and Sally or whoever, little kids? What happens to them? Daddy doesn't have a job and loses the house and loses the business. So it's just kind of like, in a sense, when you put that lockdown, you're weighing grandma or whoever's life a lot more than a lot of other people. But then it's weird because if you say that, then it's like, oh, you don't care for older people and you're a horrible person. It's not that. I mean, I'm sure there is a different way than just shutting everything down.
Well, I'm going to get heat on I've already been blasted on Facebook, but I'll say it because this is the way I feel, is that historically any country, any culture that's thrived, they've put the young and the productive, the needs of the young and the productive, the people that are going to contribute to society. They're going to build things. They're going to have businesses ahead of the weak and the old and the people that are non-productive. When you're sacrificing an entire generation of young, productive people to save a couple people who already. Sorry. I know this sounds terrible.
I said that. I know. It's like, listen, we're bodybuilders, and if I see someone who's lived till 80, I'm like, dude, like you've had your run, man.
Exactly.
You're done. If I live till 75, fucking fantastic. I'm ready to go. Thank you guys very much. It's a pleasure. See you wherever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about this all day, but I'm glad that you weren't affected personally because you're an online coach, and a lot of the online coaches I know were affected because they work with a lot of competitors. But you're more of a lifestyle coach. You work with regular people who just want to get in shape, not necessarily competitors. So good spot to be in.
It's not more of an online coach. I own an online coaching company. So we have a full setup with customer service and all that kind of stuff and people answering messages. And like it's a very well arranged system. And I have all my employees in Egypt.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. The last time I talked to you, I think I was under the impression it was just you. But you've got a staff of people doing this now.
I have a staff of I still do the programs themselves. Yeah. But all the whether there's follow-up, I didn't include, like, let's say I didn't include follow-up before. You just get the plan, you ask questions about the plan, and that's it. Yeah. But now there's a systematic follow-up, and it kind of like goes through stages. If it's a complicated situation, or if let's say the plan isn't suitable, then it comes back to me again, and I redo whatever needs to be done. People answering the messages, like I can't answer all the Facebook and Instagram messages and all the requests. So I have a nice setup going, and I'm actually going through another reform right now, just to take things to the next level.
Yeah, because I mean, I saw this. You have well over 300,000 followers on Instagram. That's at the Durrah. But then you have a Facebook page, Durrah IFBB Pro, 1.2 million. Woo, dude, that's
and the
impressive.
YouTube too. There on the YouTube. I think I'm almost at 800,000 subscribers.
What's that? What's the channel called? The Durrah?
If they type Durrah, they're just gonna see the channel.
Durrah, yeah.
I think there's only one IFBB Pro in the world who has a bigger channel.
Is that Kai? No. Kai.
No. I think it's that model Jeff Said.
Oh yeah. He does have pretty cool hair. Have you seen his hair?
It's his hair, man. It's the hair. It's all the it's the hair.
It's like out of a Yu-Gi-Oh card or something. It's pretty awesome. Well, I want to go back because I'm fascinated with injuries, having had so many of myself. How did you herniate that disc?
Hack squats.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man.
Yeah.
So coming up out of a rep or something, it just went pop?
I didn't hear any pop. I didn't hear anything.
Mm.
After the set, I felt okay. And then I did walking lunges. When I did walking lunges, I kind of swayed a little.
Mm-hmm.
And when I swayed, I didn't hear anything, but I felt something.
Mm.
And it was one of those oh shit moments.
Mm.
And when you have oh shit moments, you gotta prepare for a lot of shit. So the pain just kept progressively getting worse. And I was like, I barely made it to my car. And then I couldn't, like, I was stiff the next day, you know, your typical flare. And then when I went to the doctor, I did an MRI, and they're like, yeah, you have a small hernia in your disc. The problem is the hernia is in the same disc that I had a fracture in throughout my. I have a small fracture. I think it could be a birth defect, or it could be something that I've had when I had my motorcycle accident back when I was in Egypt. So it's in the same disc. That's the only problem. Yeah.
So how'd they resolve that? How did you get better from that?
Just the inflammation goes down because it's not affecting. It's just discomfort, right? It's just like pressing on the nerve. That's all. But now, like, I've gotten a little smaller. I'm not eating, not exactly like too much junk food. Yeah. So my inflammation is low. When I'm doing that, it's fine. But I think the worst phase is after the shows when I rebound.
Mm. Yeah, you know, I've because like I said, I've got that CrossFit hookup. Gluten is supposed to be the enemy with inflammation. So theoretically, if you went gluten free, it would heal all your inflammation. Yeah, supposedly. Oh. But yeah, so I mean, your leg training, obviously, you know, you haven't been able to do much leg training this past few months because all you have access to is squat racks. You know, legs are the thing you're trying to build. So when you are able to get back to the gym, what are the mainstays of your leg training when you're not able to squat?
I do a lot of leg extensions. Yeah. The leg presses that I do, they have to be like sort of at a flat angle.
Okay.
Like not pushing upwards, just flat.
Yeah.
Walking lunges with lighter weights. A lot of hamstring, a lot of inner thigh, and abductor work, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. You're definitely going to compete again, right? See how I put you on the spot?
Yeah. Like, I might have another go this year.
Okay.
I don't know about next year. I'm sort of on the fence of, do I really want to? Why do I want to continue? Mm-hmm. You know, do I want to continue because do I still really, really love it, and do I still have a passion for it, or am I still doing this because I think it's contributing to my livelihood? It's not anymore.
It's not. Yeah.
No. So I just need to figure that out. I think I'm at that stage. The gym's opening today sort of kind of gave me a little nudge. And also one of my best friends, he moved back to Montreal, and he was the guy in my YouTube who was always there with me filming. We started the YouTube channel together, and so he's back, and he's like, kind of, let's do this one more time. Let's do it just for fun, We're even thinking of doing the actual videos in English because I've never really had a vlog of my contest preps in English, and they're really, really cool. Like, we get down to a lot of details, airport stuff, shaving my body hair, just the whole thing. It's a pretty cool series that I have going on.
I think we talked about this before. You have, like I said, you have this tremendous fan base in the Arab-speaking world, and I think you tried to do a video in English once, and didn't they get upset, like you were alienating them?
Yeah, kind of like like, hey, you know, like we're the ones supporting you. We're the ones who you know, have your back all the time. Like, why are you suddenly? But at this point, I think I've given them enough,
Mm.
enough content, enough material, enough information, and I've mentioned in my last video, or one of my few last videos, that I will be making a switch soon.
Ah, okay. So you gave them fair warning.
Yeah, like a heads up. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna stop the Arabic videos um, in at 1 million subscribers, maybe, or
Yeah.
900. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
That's a million
We'll see.
subscribers on YouTube. That is like boss level. That's like I think you get a gold star or something for that. But
Yeah, I have a plaque here. Like, you see
for five,
that over there?
yeah, yeah. Is that
That's
for
1,000, and then you get a gold one of these when you hit 1 million.
nice? Okay, cool.
Uh,
So you just laid out a few reasons why you might compete, like financially. Do I need to do it? Do I have the passion for it? But what about expectations from your fans? Because I have talked to a lot of pros, and they say I wouldn't even do this anymore. But the fans, they're always on me, like please compete, please, we want to see you. They love seeing you guys compete. That's they look up to you, and that's what they want. Do you feel that pressure?
Not really, because I think during the Corona thing, it was a good opportunity for me to sort of test how my social media platform would work without competition. So
Uh,
don't forget, I haven't competed in over a year now, because the
right,
last show was Dallas Pro. I skipped the Olympia.
right.
So it's been a year, and things have been great. The curve is still going upward, and yeah, the occasional comments were, "Hey, are you going to compete soon?" I see those sometimes, but I don't think that's the reason why I have the followers. Because even a lot of the comments sometimes are, "I'm not into bodybuilding, and I know nothing about bodybuilding, but I just follow you, for the sake of the entertainment and just how fun it is."
Yeah.
So I think quality content is what matters, and a lot of people in the fitness industry are lacking that knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you
if you look at YouTube and Instagram, there's a lot of people who are doing very, very well on
yeah,
social media. They don't compete. Some of them have never competed, but
exactly.
they put out great content. They have personalities. They have a look. There are things about them that
Exactly.
they draw people in.
Yeah,
And winning some show, one of these shows that we talked about, 99% of the people out there could care less about bodybuilding or who wins this or that. And you could tell them Brandon Curry, and they're like, "Who? Brandon? Who? What? Who's that?" They have no clue. They don't care. So yeah, you just proved it yourself. You don't need to compete. You're actually doing better not competing. Um,
it makes me even wonder sometimes, like, is bodybuilding doing, as a class, is bodybuilding doing better than it did? Because I've always supported the notion that it is.
mm,
But I'm sort of starting to see just of how the world is shifting
yeah.
into more of an online platform, and the YouTube and all that. And I'm seeing the people that are getting the most attention. They're not the bodybuilders.
Mm,
They're either the men's classic. Um, Most fitness YouTubers, like you said, have never even competed before. And so even my friend who was traveling with me, he says, like, bro, like, no one, it's not that no one really cares, but you don't need to compete. He said, if we're gonna do this, we're just gonna do it for fun, just so we can
mm.
travel one last time together, and have like a nice little tour and all that kind of stuff.
So
So
if you were going to just do one more show and that would be it, is there a
I
certain?
would say season. So I'd say one show, two shows, Olympia.
Okay, gotcha. Because I didn't know if
Yeah.
there's like one show you've never done that you've always wanted to do, or some place you've always wanted to compete, something like that. No. Okay. Well, let's talk about happier things now. You're a car guy. What are you driving these days? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm guessing you saw the Facebook posts.
I'm not good at identifying cars. I could see the Audi R8. I knew what that was, but I see like corners of other cars. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? That looks pretty cool, but I don't even know what that is.
No,
So
no, I only we have three cars. I'm a big Audi fan.
yeah.
So we have an Audi A4, That's like the everyday car.
Yeah.
I have an Audi, a 2020 Audi A7.
Okay.
That, believe it, is probably one of the nicest cars that I've ever had or ever gotten into. Period. Just the drive, the comfort, the technology in it is amazing. And I've recently purchased an Audi R8 V10 Plus.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
Tony Stark's car from Iron Man.
that's the Batmobile.
Yeah. So have you done anything? Have you modified it in any way?
It doesn't really need modification. It's 610 horsepower. Does 0 to 100 in around 2.8 seconds. So I don't really see there's much room for modifying. If anything, I would probably just get a louder, more obnoxious exhaust.
Like with the glass pack mufflers, what they had in the old days?
No, not one of these. But the car is already very loud, and like even it's like kind of you'd have to be a really shitty person to take the car out at 11 o'clock.
I can imagine. Yeah. Now, where can you? Is there any place in Quebec where there's like no speed limits, or like an autobahn, or a track, or something where you can really take it and see how fast?
We do have a track, and I can take it there, but it's pretty far for number one. Number two, I don't think they're open yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you're not into like driving 200 miles an hour. You just like the cars that can go 200 miles an hour.
I've hit 184 so far. Yeah.
Probably on a motorcycle, right?
No, in the car.
Huh?
In the car.
Okay. Yeah. I hope it wasn't a motorcycle.
No.
Cool. So you're very loyal to Audi. They should be giving you like a discount or something.
I do have good interest rates with them.
I know. Yeah.
I am on like one of their programs. They have this special thing for not influencers, but like public figures or whatever.
Yeah.
And the interest rate just goes a lot lower, like really low.
Yeah. I got a great deal. I got an A5. I got it right before the quarantine, so doesn't even have 1,000.
That's a fun car to have. It's a fun car.
It's a fun car to look at in the driveway. That's about it at this point. Where am I going to go? But that's cool. Yeah, the Audi R8. That's they had one in the dealership, and I was like sitting there just drooling over it, and that'd be a cool car to have someday. Is yours a hard top or convertible?
Look at my desktop. Hold on.
Oh, you got a model?
Shit. Thing shut down. So my background has always been an R8. Like I've had that background for a lot of years.
Yeah.
That was like kind of like a goal that I really wanted to do. Sorry. Yeah, a goal that I really wanted to achieve.
I thought you were going to bring up like a toy car, like a model of it or something. No. That would have been cool. Do you have? I always ask this of anybody that's really into cars. Is there a dream car that someday you'd really want this car?
You always want more. So I'll be honest, like my dream car was the R8. Yeah. And the second I got it, a week later, I was on Auto Trader and I was like,
Yeah.
I love Ferrari. If you tell me like no limits.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No money. Money's no object. Maybe the car is given to you free or something. You won a contest. I don't know.
Okay. I'd say La Ferrari by Ferrari.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with Ferrari since the old freaking Miami Vice days. What's like the coolest Ferrari now?
I would say La Ferrari.
It's called Ma Ferrari?
No, La Ferrari. Like
La Ferrari?
Yeah.
That's what they call the car, La Ferrari?
Yeah.
It's not a number like 308 or this or that, no?
No, just La Ferrari.
La Ferrari, okay. I'll have to ask
the Ferrari,
I'll have to ask my my Arab son-in-law because he sells Ferraris and Bugattis and Lambos and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you guys could have quite the conversation. Yeah, he knows all about that crap. Ooh. If you go, I'll give you his Instagram. All his Instagram stories are just him showing you cars that he's selling. So I don't even follow him anymore.
I think either between that or a Ferrari F12. They're both street legal cars, and I really like them because they're the closest thing to sound like a Formula One car. And I'm obsessed with Formula. I don't play PlayStation, but I do now just to play Formula One.
You bought PlayStation to play one game?
No, I've always had a PlayStation. Like, I started playing again just for that game.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow, it looks like no more shows this year for you, or well, actually for most people. I think a lot of people have sort of just written this year off as far as competing because nothing's really certain. And, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get into the U.S. or leave their countries or anything because right now nobody can go anywhere.
We still have the borders closed for another month.
Oh, okay, but they said in a month, if the cases go down, everything they're going to lift that.
It should be around mid-July, I believe they open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine a pro show with just Americans. I mean, I love America, but man, that'd be a pretty weak ass show, honestly, especially the Olympia. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't written this year out entirely. I'm still, ever since the announcement today, I'm still kind of thinking about it. And I even told my friend, listen, I'll think it over this weekend. And on Monday, I either go full throttle, like 100% back at it, compete in October, or just write this year off, take it easy. Enjoy restaurants in summer and
Well, selfishly, I'm going to tell you what show I want you to do. Boston Pro.
Boston Pro?
Of course. I want everybody to do that damn show.
Yeah,
everybody.
I
want 1,000 people in that show.
It is the first show that if I compete, that's the show I'm aiming at. Boston and Chicago.
Okay, because those are, I think, the last two shows to qualify for Olympia anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Because he moved, these show dates have been they've been moved all over the place. He moved that from, originally it was going to be June, the Boston show, then it was November, and then once the announcement about the Olympia came on, and they said, this weekend is the last weekend for shows to qualify, he moved it to that weekend to make sure it was an Olympia qualifying show. Smart.
I mean, why don't you tell me, like, in your opinion, do you think there's going to be a lot of spectators at the shows and media coverage, particularly at the Olympia? Forget the shows. Let's say the Olympia.
Okay. I can tell you the media coverage will not be affected at all. Just like, did you go to the Arnold?
No.
So the situation at the Arnold,
but then it was canceled.
Well, the expo was canceled, and then it was bizarre because that was like the last weekend before all hell broke loose with this virus and quarantine.
Yeah.
So the governor and the mayor of Columbus, they shut down the expo, and they wanted to shut down the competition. They wanted everything shut down. So everybody just go home, stay out of Columbus. We don't want you guys here. But they had nobody allowed at the judging on Friday and Saturday at the Arnold. So all the divisions, it was just the press, 2 rows, the coaches, a couple family members, and then a big empty auditorium. So it was like pretty quiet. All you could hear was, that little background music that they have for the judging. But then at the night show, they let everybody in, packed them in like sardines as usual. Same thing happened Saturday. Nobody allowed during judging. Okay, because you can get the virus during judging, but you couldn't get the virus at the night show. The virus goes to sleep at 5 o'clock. So
it also goes to sleep during protests.
True, that's right. No, the virus depends on my political beliefs.
Exactly.
But I'm nobody knows what's going on with. Are these shows going to be allowed to have spectators? Are they going to have to space everybody apart? Like everyone's going to have to be like every 4th seed or every 3rd seed?
That's madness. Absolute madness.
Yeah, I mean, so I can tell you for sure the Olympia will have. They'll have the contest. Jake Wood is committed to putting the show on. That I know. And there will be press. Everyone's still going to go from the media. As far as spectators, they're planning everything. They want everybody there, and they're proceeding as if everything's going to be okay. And hopefully it will be. But it's up to the governor of Nevada and all these other states to decide what is and what is not allowed. As far as they're really paranoid about indoor crowds. If they could have it outdoors, they'd be like, well, the virus doesn't like the outside. The virus is very afraid of outdoors and sunlight. So we could have it outdoors. But I heard a suggestion about that. Like, why don't they have it at a football stadium? Like, that'd be like the worst freaking place to have a bodybuilding show. Are you crazy?
You know that they released a statement yesterday saying that the virus isn't airborne.
Oh, it's not. What? What do you mean it's not airborne?
Yeah, like it's like it doesn't survive in the air a lot. So it's literally just someone spitting on you, and that's how you get it.
Well, if they cough in your face or yell at you or,
Something like that, yeah.
Sneeze in your face.
On NBC or NC something, whatever.
Well, we can't
And
go by that because they'll tell you wear a mask today, and then tomorrow they'll say, no, don't wear a mask. And then they'll say, well, the
yeah,
virus.
I've never worn a mask, not one day.
Really?
Never. I went to the grocery stores, nothing, no masks, just didn't even wash anything that I picked up.
My goodness, you're living on the edge.
I get an apple, and I this is how I wash my apple.
Oh, dude. Now they're saying they don't think it really stays on surfaces, and you can't. It's very hard to get it that way anyway. But I'm surprised they let you in the store without a mask.
Yeah, when I was training up in Burlington at Pure Muscle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went there for like a month, and so I was when I did my grocery shopping, didn't wear a mask.
So that's the gym with the Hamilton brothers and Antoine. Does Regan train there too?
He doesn't live there. I mean, he goes sometimes.
Okay, I mean that's a haul for you. That's what, like 500 miles away?
Something like that. Kilometers, 500 kilometers.
That's still, I don't know kilometers, but I think that's still pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been, the metric system messes me up. You know, the U.S. was supposed to convert to the metric system in 1976.
I did not know that.
True story. We had a president named Jimmy Carter. He said,
Jimmy Carter, I remember.
He said the whole world. Yeah, he said the whole world's on the metric system. We're like the last morons who aren't on the. We're going to get on the metric system. And he tried. I remember because I was in like second grade at the time, and we were all like trying to learn kilometers and meters and centimeters, and it just didn't work. We were too resistant to it, too stuck in our ways. Oddly enough, we do have 2-liter bottles of Pepsi.
1 kilometer is 1,000 meters.
Oh, I know. It's all very nice with everything's like divisible by 10.
It's nice, like if you're.
Oh, there you go again.
Okay,
you're back. Yeah, somebody called you.
If you're a person with OCD, like the mileage system should really mess you up. Like it's 1,600 kilometers.
Right. Well, it's like 5,281 feet or something. You have to know. You have to know all that.
Oh, these numbers are weird.
Oh man.
Meters. Right. 1 meter is 100 centimeters.
I get it. I do like the fact that centimeters. I could say I'm 100 and something centimeters tall, which sounds pretty impressive, right? But
that's true. Yeah, especially for a guy like me.
Yeah, I'm getting shorter and shorter every damn year. True story. You'll get there one day. How old are you now, Durrah?
I'm turning 34 in September.
Oh, live it up. Live up these years. Enjoy your youth, guy. Let me tell you. Those are awesome. 30s are awesome. Really try to savor those. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for letting me catch up with you, Durrah. I'm glad everything's going great up there in Montreal. Selfishly, I hope you do the Boston Pro, because I'd love to see you come down to my area and compete and, represent. That's it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was a pleasure being on here, as always.
Cool, man. So that's it, everybody. Redcon 1 athlete. Yes? Still, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't scare me like that. That's because I wore the shirt just for you. And if you want to follow him on social media, it's at the Durrah on IG and Facebook, Durrah IFBB Pro. And if you go to YouTube and put in Durrah, you'll get his videos. And for all you English-speaking people, you're going to be in for a treat. He's going to start making some English-speaking videos so we can know what the hell is going on. Even though you always had subtitles anyway, right?
I only have subtitles on the vlogs because those are the contest vlogs. So those are the most fun ones.
Right. Well, the training stuff would just be like grunt, clank. There's nothing to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, appreciate you taking the time, Durrah. Wish you the best. And that's it. Thanks, everybody, for watching Ronline Report with this man, Mahmoud Al Durrah. We'll see you next time.
Catch you later, guys.